Hi guys. So last video of the year, I'm going to talk about what I'm reading, what I've read, and what did I got. I've put the previous novel what I bought, but then my company gave me like a voucher for Amazon, and then I purchased some other stuff as well. Next year is going to be different for me. I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of videos, but I'm changing the way I read. Usually I read like and put everything in my in my Excel file, like how many pages I read per day or so on, and I'm going to stop that. I'm going to stop thinking about how many books I read. So I'm going to purchase less. I don't even have the money or place to put more books, and I'm going to do other stuff as well. I'm currently playing with my child a novel. Probably you know it is in Portuguese, of course, because it's like 7 years old. But it's like a game book stuff. I purchased a couple of others as well, just so you can see. This is not the purpose of this video, but so White Box, Four Against Darkness, Four Against the Abyss, Alone Against Fear, Fablelands, and Basic Fantasy. These are all game books that you can play by yourself and play like almost like some like this, some like mini RPG kind of stuff. And I'm going to do some other stuff as well. I'm not focusing so much on books. Not that I'm not enjoying reading, but I want to try other stuff. I've got a lot of board games, and this year I didn't play any board games. Okay, I've read more. Yeah, I read like 180 novels. 180, so 180. So that was very good, but as you know, it's not that, yeah, so it's not everything in life. So what did I got, what I read and so on. So let's start with what did I got. I got the whole set from an author called Ricardo Pinto. I don't know if you heard. It's a series. The series is called, let me check. I don't know if it has a name as the series as well, but I believe so. I don't know why. It's The Stone Dance of Chameleon. Okay, so we've got The Masters. You've got The Chosen. You've got The Standing Death. The Darkness Under the Tree, Dragonfire, The Mirror Breaks, and last, The Third God. This was originally published as a trilogy of books, and then he slipped in 7 books and added some scenes, removed some stuff, and so on. It's an Among Us work because I've seen his website. That's not normally what I do. I don't really care about how stuff are created, except like Lord of the Rings, for example, or Warhammer 40k. But most of the novels I don't really, unless it fascinates me and I want to learn more. Usually I read and that's it. I don't want to know more. But here I try to read a little bit more, and Simon, he has like 20, 30 different books that he writes, notes and drawings and so on, and so this is really a labor of love. He only published these novels, I believe he has like 2 others, but in 30 years or so, so it's amazing. About 20 years. Did I read more? 96? Probably, yeah. So the spine is all aligned. They have the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Everything is fantastic. So, which is normally when it's self-published. Then I purchased what? I purchased as well the entire, not the entire, because I'm lying. It's not the entire because this guy writes a lot of books. It's John Atten, or Jonathan, if you wish. This is a book I've read recently. I really enjoyed, and I bought all of it. It's a series I'm going to purchase along the way because he writes a lot. He has like 40 novels, and he's like under 40 probably. It's very amazing. But all of his novels are small, so probably what I'm going to do is read the series I'm committed to read, and in between read one or two of these novels. Not read too many at the same time because some of them are really disturbing, and I don't think it will be good to read like 3 or 4 novels in one go. But who knows? So let's start. Camp Blaze, Author Enhanced Edition. This is like slasher kind of stuff. We've got Cannibal Creek. It's another brutal clasher stuff. A Family of Violence. This is horror, and it's provocative horror, as he calls it. The Law of Retaliation. This is like as well as horror and thriller as well. So basically, it's you murder my wife. Now let's see what I'm going to do with you. City of Anger. This is 19th and a thriller. I'm really excited to enter most of these novels, to be honest. Party Games. So Lovesick. Most of these are horror or splatter. Mason's Television. Rotten Apples. Most of the novels have like a small warning here. This book contains scenes of graphic violence and disturbing themes. This book is not intended for those easily offended or appalled. Please enjoy it as description. And some have like stuff like sex and other. Butcher's Road. Then this is the only series I've got from him. I believe this is 2 series. No, 3. 2 duologies, and this is the only series I've got. This is Mr. Snuff. You bet you know what this is. Mrs. Vengeance. Dr. Sadist. And Kill Woo. This is the biggest one. And 4 novels. Spit and Die. Getting vibes of a book, a movie I've read. I've watched a long time ago. That was like I Spit on a Grave. Getting the vibes of that. Sympathy for the Widow. The Last Lesson. And The Social Media Murders. So this is all the novels I've got from him, John Atten, or so on. And then from Warhammer, I've got Hammers of Sigmar, First Forge, Hardback edition, and finally, as a / Christmas present, I've got Gotrek Garrison, 3 novels that published in the Sigmar world. As you can see, they are very similar. Very cool, golden stuff. My only complaint probably is going to be the cover. Not complaint, but I thought that they could be a bit different, but okay. This is Gold Slayer. This is signed and numbered, as you can see there below. It's number 484, and it has only one painting, which to me I believe it will be cool to have more, whatever. The second one, it's Git Slayer. This one also has an art piece, but no signature. And the third one is Soul Slayer. And my own companies, for the price we're paying, I thought that first either more artwork, but okay, I get that could be a bit expensive. The books are like 125 euros, so it's a bit. Each one is 40 euros. Although they are very beautiful, I'm not saying that, but I expected that, or at least a different cover on each book. For example, the Gotrek Slayer, the Gotrek novels on the Sigmar is him and Aeldaria, I believe. I don't know what is her race, because I've not read the books. It's like a dark elf kind of girl, and the covers are all the same guy. So yeah, they could be here another figure, but okay. The only thing that differs is the back cover. It has a small writing, and each one has a different phrase. So, and what did I read, and what I'm reading, and so on. So, what did I read? I read Flesh from Richard Lehman, a very interesting novel from him. I enjoy it, but not so much as it's very. It's if you read one of Richard Lehman's story, you know what you're getting. It less sex violence, well, less for him, but more. Let me just because I didn't thought this through. Less sex violence and more violence than sex, which is not normal by him, but okay. Flesh, Castle of Blood, really enjoyed. Warhammer horror stuff, really enjoyed, by C.L. Werner. A bit disappointing by the ending. I thought that we would have a conclusion, but okay. Black Queen by Ed MacDonald. Finally, I finished, and I'm going to read the second and third one next year. A Portuguese novel, Uma Aventura na Quinta das Lágrimas. Very cool. It's like a children's book. I've been reading this for the past 40 not years, because I'm 40 years, so by the past 30 years. I remember reading the first one when I was 9 or 10, and the authors published the first one in 82. They are still publishing. There are like 60 novels, and this is the number 41, because I've read like 30. Then I grew up and I stopped reading, and then when my child came about, I started collecting some books to read, and I thought, okay, let's buy and read them, and they are okay. They don't expect anything more than like the English version, the 5 and so on. I've read one story here within the Grim Investigations. It's called Blood of Baal Shalor by Richard Lee Byers, and there is one more, and I'm finishing this novel for good. What I'm reading now, well, one thing I started like around the 15th of December. I started rereading stuff. I don't know why. I really wanted this year to read some stuff I've read before, to feel the love that sometimes I think I'm not getting from books. Like this year I read, like I said, almost 200 novels, and most of them are not 5. Most of them are not, okay, I'm going to keep this book and read it in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I'm not a person like that. I've got some that I want to read, but most of them I read like way back. So I thought, okay, let me try rereading the books, see if I love them. Or if it was like, when you start reading books, since they are different, you do some different stuff. Like, okay, imagine that you never read Lord of the Rings. It's going to create an impact in yourself. But imagine that you have read like 1,000 novels. Reading Lord of the Rings and not knowing the backstory and so on, probably it's not that much of a deal. It's like an adventure novel. But that was the precursor of everything. So I believe some novels that I read followed that category. Like, it was something new. Okay, I never read anything like this, so it is amazing. But after years, I can look back and say, oh, it's nothing special. So I'm rereading some stuff. So what did I read? The first one was Fire Warrior by Simon Spurrier. This is a Warhammer 40k based on of a TV game, a PC game. I remember start reading like 200 pages and stop reading. So I wanted to start again. The second one is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm rereading the Harry Potter series. This is the third novel. I'm enjoying as well. I enjoy. I never finished Harry Potter, and this is probably going to be the time I'm going to finish. Elric of Saga Part 1. Elric of Melniboné. Yeah, I'm reading the first novel, like halfway through, and this is something I've read before. I enjoy, 5 stars, favorite, and so on, and I'm still loving it. It's amazing. The same with Harry Potter. And last and not least, I don't have the cover because I don't want to damage. It's The Fellowship of the Ring, and it's amazing what the author did here. It's not action. It's different from everything. These 2 books, they are written almost at the same time. This was written. Okay, this started writing way back before the First World War, but it didn't finish like 76, 77, something like that. Elric of Medieval, it's Moorcock stuff, and I believe he finished in 72. Yeah, 72. And the Weird of the White Wolf was written in 67, so the same time as Michael Moore as a Fellowship of the Ring. So at the same time, like, I'm not saying that one comes from the other or the other way around, but I'm saying that this guy probably didn't know about this. I don't know. Okay, I'm speculating here, but it did something great. Okay, the characters are very different from what you expect here. Here you have white knights, almost like pure heroes, and they are different. They are black and white. There is very little middle ground, and here there is a middle ground, and that's amazing what Moorcock did here. And both of the novels have the same time, or like years back. So yeah, that's it. I'm reading this stuff. I'm reading another novel that I don't have here because I left in my car. Tide of Souls. It's a Tomes of the Dead novel I'm reading. There are 10 novels written by Abaddon back in 2010, 12, and so on. Then they stopped publishing. It's a series of amazing British authors that wrote series like zombies and stuff. And I've read like 4 or 5 when they were being released. But then I stopped. Then I start purchasing more than I read, and so the pile goes on. And so these are stuff I'm trying to get back and finish the series. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 more to finish from from Tomes of the Death and finishing this series. And so yeah, that's it from me. Next year is going to be a different year. I'm starting Horus Heresy. I'm reading more 40k Warhammer and so on novels. I'm trying to read more continue reading Star Wars and Richard Lemon series, like 1 novel per month if possible, and reading more fantasy, probably not, but I'm trying to focus more on Warhammer and so on, because those are the worlds I really loved and I always get back to them, basically. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you have a great holidays, happy holidays for everyone, good happy new year, and let's see if I can see you here next year. As always, thank you and have a nice day.